Amba TV, the TV for the government of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, under the watch of all the Ambazonian people. We greet you all, and we congratulate all of you for staying put and hearing what we have to say. I come to you today, the 13th of February 2023, in this our program, our Amba history, and I want to reiterate and let the people of Ambazonia know that the purpose of the government of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia in this media is not for propaganda. We are here, number one, to encourage you, number two, to teach you, number three, to advise you, number four, to warn you. And we do our possible best to tell you what can be verified, because as a historian, I'm a child of God, I am a seer, and at the same time, I walk with the conscience of God in me. And so, most of the things we tell you on this platform can be verified. But as humans, there could be some little hitches here and there, which definitely are there because we are still in this life. Somebody asked a question. You have been praying for so long. Why don't you stop praying now and just go about your life? And the simple answer is because the devil is still here disturbing people, so we'll continue to pray until the devil is gone. As long as the devil is here, we are not going to stop. And a lot of signs are showing, as have been predicted in the Bible, even though there are a lot of people who are unbelievers and God calls them so. And so as a child of God, I call them so, unbelievers who don't believe what the Bible says. I even heard somebody saying that, Satan had a right to oppose God because God is a tyrant. He wants everybody to follow him. So some people who follow the devil is to prove to God that even though he created the whole world and created Satan, Satan can oppose him. And he quoted another example that there are children, when they grow up, they damn the consequences of what their fathers are doing or have done, and they go the contrary way. There are people who have refused the concept of the human being, male and female, and they now have traits, and they go against what their parents told them and what the parents taught them. So that's how the world goes. And we know that there is opposition, and opposition in every form, apart from opposition from God. Any other opposition will want to do everything possible to oppose God by telling lies, by exaggerating, by insinuating. But if you are of God and your opponent is there, you say exactly what you know that can be authenticated. That is what our Amba history is all about. And unfortunately, people think that we should not talk about the history. We should talk about what is presently going on. As if talking about our history has anything to subtract from what is going on home front as fighting. Rather, I believe that our history reminds our people, but as people have their different opinions, which in many cases I don't argue, because there are so many channels. The channel of God is there, The channel of the devil is there. And you make a choice of which channel you want to go. But I, particularly on our Amba history, I want to say what has happened, is happening, and of course, once in a while, dive into what may happen so as to keep you abreast of what we are doing and where we are going. That is the purpose of our Amba history. And if you know the history, please don't think that everybody knows the history. Because I met some young men here, whether ignorantly or just jokingly or truthfully, they were never on the known that La République du Cameroon got their independence on the 1st of January 1960. They were arguing with me. But somebody is out there claiming that these are people who have gone through the University of Boya and the University of all that places. And then they are saying that what they were taught is that La République got their independence in April, 11th of February or 11th, 21 of April, and something, just a mix-up. Because La République did everything to hide our history and, of course, hide their own history. Because if their history is brought to the limelight, what happens is that there will be a lot of questioning. That's why they hide, especially when it comes to their Independence Day. They cover it up with Bon Année. But it's their Independence Day. They don't celebrate it as other nations celebrate their Independence Day. We in Ambazonia, 1st of October is the day that we celebrated. And La République did everything to quell down our people who were celebrating this Independence Day on the 1st of October. I remember for several years, tens of years, every 1st October, they will catch some people and go and lock them. We used to hear them as SCNC. But little did we know that they were celebrating the independence that was given to them by the United Nations on the 1st of October, 1961. And when La Republic got their independence, we were not with them. We came in a gentleman agreement and decision to see if we could stay together, because it was difficult for us to stay continuously in the Eastern House of Parliament in Nigeria, because we are under the same colonial government of Britain with Nigeria. And when we could not stay, we walked out without any gunshot. And we felt that let's try to see these fellows if we could manage and stay with them. And the decision and the deception was concocted and propagated by France and Britain. And so we came. God being so kind, knowing that we are like the children of Israel in a strange land, one day he was going to bring us out, did not allow us to sign a pact, to sign a union treaty to be part of La République du Cameroon. We were with La République du Cameroon as an entity on its own. But they played all the games and the gimmicks and the tricks the best that they could know to bring us under bondage. But God, who is kind, reserved this time. If we do not fight now, that is the end. And so we will fight till the end. And that's why men and women of my caliber, we came in there. And we came in there with a purpose to make sure that the truth is told. That if La République is actually telling the truth, that we are under them and they have the right to give us a special status, let's get the second person to come in and join us. I mean, the third person to stand neutral and listen to our case. Why are they running away from coming to the table? It's because they know that all along they have copied all the wicked ways of the children of Esau, France, how wicked and how trickish and demonic they are. And they feel that they are going to put us, the children of God, under bondage. No, sir. All right. Greetings to all of you who are already tuned in, and welcome to once again our program, our Amba history. I just listened to this song, Otosowoji. That song, Almighty God, there is no one like you. And I would like our brother, Reverend Sama, to just tell us briefly how that he knows our name. And immediately after that, we'll go back to Osotowoji, Otosowoji, whatever name they call it. That is meaning, I really, really admire it, and it has a meaning. Almighty God, there is no one like you. And that's where I will be emphasizing in our Amba history today. Now, let's stay tuned and then invite your friends to come in and let's be together on the same page. God bless as you listen.
Okay, I finally found what boosts my metabolism, and it's not crazy workouts or fad diets.
Sorry for that mix up. Sorry for that mix up. Wow, sorry for that mix up. All right, let's get back to the Reverend. I don't know what happened to, but we are very sorry for the mix up. All right, let's go.
Almighty Father, Papa, now you love me so, and you know my name. I give you glory, Abba Father, you know me, you know my name. Abba Father, you know me, you know my name. Abba Father, you know me, you know my name. You know my name, oh Daddy. You know my name. I can see your hand in my life. Lord, I see your love upon me. Every time I look around, now you are the see. Every time I turn.
Thank you very much, Reverend. Whenever you look around, you will see God Almighty because He knows the name of Ambazonia. Fellow Ambazonians, fellow viewers of ABC Amba TV, this is our history, and it must be told and repeatedly until you understand it and you know it. Now, a number of people who believe and claim that they know the history of Ambazonia have not yet understood the gimmicks and the games of La République du Cameroon concerning our fight. And because they have not understood, and some of them don't want to understand, we are still wallowing and running around in circles in things that actually supposed to have been put in place, because the games and the tricks of La Republique are put up in such a way that you may not even suspect. Yeah, La Republique is a bona fide liar, and they have lied all through until now. They are still lying. If you see the ancestors that are ruling that nation, they are still lying that they are able men, even though everybody knows and sees that they are not capable of doing anything, of helping even themselves. They are still priding and still lying. You can imagine somebody who lies and lies to himself. Then you know that we are living in very dangerous times, and at the end of the age, as the Bible has actually prophesied. Yes, and so I'm here as a historian to let Ambazonians know and to let the people out there know that, number one, we were never the same country with with La République du Cameroon. We were never. And history down the line has proven, and in these last days, it has proven that you cannot have a child who is stubborn and you go bring a machine gun to kill that child. Now, if you see La Republic carry their machine guns and their tanks, and they are going to Betua to go and fight with tanks, then just know that that country, that place is not part of it. But because if it was part of it, you use the normal method of quelling any uprising. You have the police, you have the administrators in their, of course, all of them in that shithole country are useless because they forget to know that we are living in a world where there is a lot of confusion, and devil is part and parcel of that confusion. And because he is alive and doing what he is doing, we human beings need to find out a method how to fight this devil. But unfortunately, the world has taken another way around to kill its people, and they are doing it with impunity. And people are sitting down there and watching. Unfortunately, like I told you, devil told people that, look here, God is a tyrant. Let's go behind him. Let's fight him and fight him out. And a number of people are actually going out there trying to fight God out. But unfortunately, nobody can fight God. And you cannot fight God. Yeah, I told you that. You cannot fight God. If you come out that you're going to fight God, my dear friend, I have bad news for you. That it can never happen. It can never happen. You can never fight God. And because you cannot fight God, that's why he's winning. And that's why the interim government has stood its ground and repeatedly told La Republic, let's go on the table. If you know that you are right with what you are talking, what you are insinuating about Ambazonia, let's go on the table and we sit down on the table and discuss. Why is La Republic running away and refusing to come to the table? It's because they know, and they definitely know, that what they are doing is wrong, practically wrong, and everybody knows that they are wrong. And so they don't want to get out there and get the greatest disgrace, but eventually they will get it. That's why I want to advise you, don't miss the defense briefing tomorrow, Saturday the 14th of January 2023. It's going to be very powerful. I want to repeat the motto of our Amba history. We come here to educate. We come here to teach. We come here to correct. We come here to advise. We come here to warn. And because a lot of people, from what Jesus said, that the whole world lies in wickedness, we can see that it's really true. Because when he says it, it may take some time, but it will be proven that the statement is true. Why is it that a majority of people, especially the Ambazonian people, they don't want to hear the truth? They want to hear propaganda. They want to hear lies that they cannot substantiate. You cannot substantiate them. You cannot tell us any evidence. But by the grace of God on ABC and our Amba history, we have a lot of evidence. Do you know that this interim government, President Sako set up to set in the leadership that was in the days of Dr. Foncha, Dr. Indele, and Dr. Gumjua. He stepped in to set up this government. And the government has been set up. Why is it that a lot of Ambazonians are fighting against this government? Let me tell you, if you didn't know, it is because the government of Dr. Endele Gomjua and Foncha was a government that adhered to every department of the government, and they were strict with everybody being obedient and under the leadership of the Constitution. When Dr. Sako started, he came in with counties and local governments. The local government people that came in, a number of the people that first came in were not voted because there were no people who were in the fight at that time. Many people had not understood. And some people who were zealous, they suddenly and automatically became the leaders of these different local government areas, leaders of the counties and leaders of the LGA. And as the days went by, a time came when voting was to be done by the people of those counties and LGAs. And some of the people who had come in and started establishing the counties and the LGAs, they became King Kongs. They did not want to leave, just like La République du Cameroon. That spirit transferred. But then President Sako did not have anything to do with any county. He just set forth the departments, gave the blueprint of what was supposed to be done by the people of the different counties, and left the government in their hands. When this happened and we started, you could see in different counties the fight that was going on. A number of the so-called county chairmen and local government chairmen, they had seen another place that was like a farm, a coffee farm for them to do whatever they wanted to do. And when the people that are in those counties came in to make sure that they set things right and stop the disorganization and disorder of La République du Cameroon, they met with a lot of defense. And when they met with this defense, some of the people who had collected money to send to our people on home front for defense, they had opened their back legs and swallowed the money. And when we were to go into real scrutiny, they jumped out and started pointing fingers, telling lies on home front about the government of President Sako, which they could not give any evidence or authenticate what they were saying. And so some of them ran out because they knew that when you stay in this government, you were to be brought to book and you were to be audited. And the money that you collected to send home for defense, you were going to be accountable. And because of that, so many of them jumped out and started forming private militias. Now the money is finished. And what are they doing? Some of them are coming back, which the doors are open, but some of them are still hiding, and they've carried another mission, and the mission is the mission of blackmailing, to blackmail the interim government. Some of them have actually joined La République du Cameroon, and they are singing the song of La République du Cameroon. And unfortunately, our people back home, some of them in the diaspora, who do not know the mechanism and the working modus operandi of La République du Cameroon, they are still following these individuals because they can talk, they can make noise, but they forget to know the background of what is going on. Let me tell you, Ambazonians, our Amba history is very interesting. When some of these people took the money that was meant for the people on home front, they refused even the president to talk to the commanders on home front because they realized and understood that this man, being very strict, straightforward, and truthful, was going to discover their games. They did everything to hide those boys. And because they had contact with the boys, they will give 5 million, they will give 500,000 to the boys and turn around and tell them that, the president does not want this to do, so you people should take this, it is for your food, don't go anywhere. They discourage the people. I can give you practical examples that was brought on board, especially in Fako, where $65,000 was swindled, and it has been proven beyond measure that they took the money. This is talking with evidence. And I want to tell you, Ambazonians, because our history is to tell the truth. There has been a song that they have been singing about $135,000 that somebody, in fact, I think 3 of them, they collected the money that they were going to buy sugarcane and granite from Angola. And the contact person in Angola had nothing. So one of the days, he was talking with the main person that collected the money from the interim government. The audio leaked out. This man who had the $135,000 told the person in Angola, whom he said that the money was sent to him, that he shouldn't mind when he should come up to his show and ask a question, and he will know how to answer them, that he should not mind. That money did not change hands. But this is something that our president kept it for long, saying that it was classified. So I can go on and go on and go on and go on and go on. What I'm saying is that on ABC, we are to tell the Ambazonian people that the doors are open for you to come in. Let's work together. Like somebody was telling me and asking me a question, what is the strategy we have on home front to coordinate our defense people? And I thought that this person might have a very good idea and a plan and a strategy. And my question is, why don't you come in to the interim government, take up that post, and be able to strategize with our forces? You stand out there and you point fingers. See, every one of us has something to contribute. But when La République comes in and tells you that you should be working as somebody on the streets, just walk with anybody you see. They are thieves, they are rogues, they are crooks. Some of them, when President Sako ordered that, how do you call that thing now? Audit should be done. They disappeared. And when they disappeared, they started pointing fingers. I brought the deal. Show us the receipt of the deal. Like somebody a few days ago told me that he heard over CRTV. If you are listening to CRTV, please let me just inform you you are listening to a devil that has a tail. And as you are hanging on its tail, you are going to hell. If they tell the truth one day, just know that God has stepped in there. And so other medias that are talking about whatever is going on there in La Republic of Cameroon. And he said some 650 million has been put into somebody's account. Can you imagine the lies that they tell, lies that can be verified? So where is the 650 million? How did they put it in his account? And how is he distributing it? In fact, they even said that I have part of the money. God forbid that I should take such money. Let it be 10 billion or 100 and let it be trillions. I won't collect any poison from La Republic du Cameroon. But their money has been put into Nyongo. That is why every Ambazonian that has collected money from La Republic du Cameroon has been poisoned. I can say that with all certainty because history is what is written down, and we can make reference even to verbal history. Yes, some of these activists who were very vocal, fighting to go to Boya, suddenly something happened. It's not ordinary. That is why I told you people, and I'm still telling you people, this battle is very much spiritual as well as it's physical. And anybody who is not standing with God, believing in God, I mean, not just going to church, have given your life to Jesus, and Jesus is the person you are hiding behind. If you are in this battle and you are not in Jesus, you are a finished person, because La Republic will just send you their poison money and your soul is gone. You may still be shouting, Boya, Boya, Ambazonia, Ambazonia, but it's just lip service. The action is not there. If I tell you that I know people who have called people on home front and told them that they should not fight so that Sako can be disgraced, you will not want to believe. But that is true and very practical. If this interim government was not having God that most of you say you know that he exists, but don't believe in his power, this thing would have been stopped a long time ago. Would have been on our way to Yaoundé. But because we have handed over to God, like the children of Israel, we are pushing on. And we'll push on until it is finished. Let me tell you, God can go with a majority, and God also can go with a minority. But God is contented and very happy when a few people actually stood up, or when they actually stand up and say they are going for God. Few of them, they can do what the whole world cannot do. That is why the prophecy of Wilbur till today is fulfilling. Bring all the armies of Europe. La Republic has tried. In a rumor, I heard that they want to contract the mercenaries from Russia who are in East Africa, who are in Central Africa, to come in and try to see what they can do. Very good. Let them try. They brought Chadians and they brought some other Tete Brule, evil spirits that were walking on barefoot on Ambazonian home front. And what did they see? Some of them, before they ran out, the 3 Juju priests that came from Benin, one of them remained behind, the bones remained behind. The other ones ran and helter-skelter. The Grandmaster, I think he was about 10 or 15 years younger than Paul Biya when he came to Ambazonia and tried to do his incantation. God told him, I am the creator of the heavens and the earth. this land doesn't belong to La Republique. It is for the Ambazonian people. You better get out or you go. And he tried. But where is him today? He is geography, if not history. So Ambazonians, we are out here to educate you and teach you and tell you what is truth, which can be verified. We are not here to verify anybody, because nobody is the, how do you call it? Nobody is Ambazonia. They said, I have the final say. No, sir, you are not. It's God Almighty who has the final say. And that's why the interim government is still pushing on, despite the attacks of La Republique. Their game plan: come into the internet government, separate them, cause confusion, divide them. People who cannot do anything and can talk, let them shout that we are the ones that can do it. Take them out. That's why the word government shakes France to its underground. And that's why the interim government is going to stand as a government. All the other groups put together, let them gather and come against the interim government. It will not work. But why are they coming against the interim government? If they have gathered, like I told you a few days ago, I overheard a meeting where they said there were 23 of them. Let them come as Ambazonia, not in the name of any group, but let them come as a group, as a force, not as a government. You have failed, sir. You have failed. As a historian, as a seer, I will tell you that you have failed, because that is what France like. Groups. And when you come as a group, they know how to defeat you, because there are a lot of gullibles whose long truth everyone is trying to show his prowess so that France can contract and La Republic pay you off. Of course, money that you'll never enjoy, because when you get the money, well, I won't tell you what happens. So Ambazonians, we are a government, and the government is going stronger and stronger. As they come in and they cut this branch, new ones sprang up immediately, and they are still producing. So let us get back into our LGA, get back into our counties, and stand with this interim government. You know why some of these groups have gone out and they are still using the structures and the names of interim government? Is because La Republique and France want to disintegrate and cause confusion. But unfortunately, the people of Ambazonia know who is their government, and they are following that government. All these other fake groups that have come out and they are doing their business, tell me the departments that they have. If you hear name of any department, is the name that was founded and brought forth by this interim government. And so they want to do everything to imitate, so that the people of Ambazonia can remain confused. But we have determined that Almighty God, Oto Sowoji, He is Almighty. He is with us. Let's get this musical break, and we'll be right back. Oh, thank you very much, Otto Sowoji. Our God is a powerful God. And when you trust in Him, He will make you to know. I've heard some people challenging God. I read a document of somebody back home who feels that he is so educated that he knows more than God, and he wrote trash and rubbish. I just looked at him, I pitied him. And when I see the way La Republic is toasting him to and fro, I said, so these old people. Anyway, I told you that when you take La Republic, anything from La Republic has been poisoned. Even the defense that want to defend your people, you'll be confused because the poison is working and your heart is out. Ambazonians, we will not remain to be fools. There is only one way, and that one way is Jesus. The earlier you run into Him, the better for you. You'll be able to stand and talk. And you'll talk truth in the midst of wickedness and the midst of lies. You will stand when you are defamed and misunderstood. You will stand. Because the devil's job is to make and give confusion. I told you, we are not angels in the interim government. In fact, even angels, some of them fell. And the Bible tells me that they are reserved for punishment in hellfire. So angels are not perfect. Only God is perfect. And when you can trust in that God, He will help you to do the best that you can do. There's no need in trying to build a house by tearing down the house of your neighbor, condemning the materials, and you pick up the materials to build your house. That is funny. It is very clear that you are not conscious and you are not having the spirit. Because if you know that the person you are tearing down his house is a human being like you, he's going to die. Even you who has taken the materials from his house to build your own house, you are going to die. And that there is somebody you are going to give an account to, and that he knows you and sees you. You will not play that rubbish. But guess what? Satan comes with an illusion and make you to believe that you are the ultimate. And that when you talk, everybody should bow. No, sir. No. Our history is verbally put down so that you can come up and learn. We have knowledge today, understanding today, more than our forefathers. But they left this precedence for us to follow so that we can liberate our people. And in the course of liberating our people, La Republic has seen that since they took us captives from 1961, there has never arisen a period that they have faced what they are facing today. With all the prophetic words that came from those who know God and those who don't know God, those who believe God practically and those who believe God mentally, they all spoke, just like the Njakas, the ass that spoke to the prophet of God. So God can use anybody, and God has used them to speak to La Republic. But La Republic says we are ready to perish. And I wonder what the youth of La Republic are actually doing. Possibly the hypnotic powers that the La Republic is using on everybody has casted a spell on the youth of that nation. That ancestors who don't know themselves, you will call the president of a country, will go into a meeting and he becomes confused. Are there important people in this meeting? Who is why am I a star? Why am I? And so on. And then you answer that you are from that country. and that you have gone to school, my friend, Jesus says that only the violent will take it by force. You have been brought under a spell in that continent that most of you who are intellectuals, you are only intellectuals in your mouth. You can't arrange for anything. What am I saying? When God puts a finger on something and on somebody, bring all the arsenals of the world, it will not work. We are talking today as the interim government that La Republic has done everything possible to destroy this interim government, especially a servant that he has chosen. When he was given the testimony of how God called him several years ago, a lot of people, many of them still today, they are mocking because they don't know God. But when you know, what do? You don't give up because people are making a mockery. You don't commit the atrocity because people have said that you have committed the atrocity. No. As a sane man, and a sane man can only be put in place by God. When you say you are a sane person and you have been put in place by God, my dear friend, I'm telling you, you will enjoy what we are talking about. Oh yes, you will enjoy it. Because he who created the heavens and the earth is looking. He is watching. And as he's watching, he's seeing you and seeing everybody that is supposed to do what he's supposed to do. But when you're supposed to do what you're supposed to do and you are not doing it, it's a pity. It will not work. And that's why we are telling every Ambazonian to sit up. Social media is not where a government is run. If you want to know how the government of this interim government is run, get on board. I've heard people questioning, why did the interim government not allow people to go march in Washington, D.C. when some people declared that we should go and march? I laugh at the judgment and the advances they are making. We have been protesting and marching since 2016. What has it brought out? That is this marching that Bia was invited to Washington by Biden for us to go and march, and it will bring. That the past 5 years, it has not brought. Please be sensitive and stop wasting resources and wasting time. When a method is not working, after first, second, third, fourth, fifth, you want to try it the seventh time, it doesn't work like that. You listen to the person who has sent you. Let me tell you why we could not go there. You know, it's just like a farmer. When you are going to farm, the first tool you carry is a cutlass to go and clear the grass. When you have cleared the grass and it's time to hoe the farm, you don't go back with a cutlass. You go there with a hoe, because you now know that the portion and the place of cutlass has passed. But Ambazonians will not want to learn. They want a method that we will die by it. Just like somebody told me, I was born in this church. I will die in this church. He didn't say he would die for Jesus, but he would die in his church. And the church that did not die for him, unfortunately. So Ambazonians, we should learn to put strategies in perspective. The march in Washington, what was the result? What did it bring forth? Ask your question. You accept that question. Because if you answer the question and go back and answer the other marches that people have done, wasting time, wasting money, the impact that marching in the first day is supposed to have done, it has done it. So why do you go back to be repeating things that have been done? That is done by groups. A government has a strategy. A government cannot invite whether a tyrant or a demon, and then you get up to go and fight that demon and tyrant in the house of the person that invited that demon. You are indirectly fighting that person who invited that demon. So any of you who do not understand why the interim government, part of what the interim government and why the interim government could not go to fight Biden. You say, what about the other places in France? Nobody invited him in Switzerland and all those places. He was going for his private tours. If Bia gets up tomorrow and says he's coming to visit Washington for a private tour, I am telling you this interim government will protest. Oh, yes. So we should learn and do what is supposed to be done and do it rightly. We are a government. We have our anthem. We have our departments. The judiciary department, we have the ethics department, we have the women's department, we have the health and social services department, we have the counties, we have the LGAs, we have all these departments. We have a hymn, we have a flag, we have a president, we have the legislature, we have the legislative, we have the executive, and we have the judiciary. So all these are independent and they are working in this government. That is how it was in the days of Foncha, Gomjwa. That's how it was. But many of you think that we should go into the disorganization and disorganized method of doing things like we have copied from La République du Cameroon. We are not going to go back that route. We are marching forward and we are marching forward. Ambazonians, let us get up and begin to exercise the wisdom, the knowledge that God has given to us. And when we begin to exercise what knowledge God has given to us, you know what? You'll be doing the right thing and fighting the right fight. So, another thing is very clear that we are not Cameroonians. We are Ambazonians. And we are fighting the regime in Yaoundé. Wherever they go in the world, Cameroonians who have their grievances with them in the outside world can go after him. Anyway, that was just a side comment. Thank you very much, comrade. Because we are not Cameroonians and have nothing with the president of their. We have a problem with the government of which he is the purported head. But Washington proved to us that he is not a leader because he doesn't even know himself. There is a clique and there is a gang that is manipulating and putting everybody at age. But we in the interim government, we have taken our decision. And what is the decision? The decision is to continue to send La République out of our nation by the way we know how to do it, and we are doing it. So anybody who thinks that we are not doing it the right way, please, the door is open. Either you do it the way it's supposed to be done, come in and join the interim government. Like I told you, La République is afraid of anything called government. And when you put up a government, they go behind you. That's what they did in Naira 10 and got all of them because of a government. Now, what about these other groups that are hanging? Have you ever heard them worrying about any group, especially some of the groups that are working with them, and still calling the name of Ambazonia? Because there are groups that I know that some of you know that are working for and with La Republic of Cameroon, yet they are calling the name Ambazonia. And some of us have been carried away with those appellations and those names. Like I said, they are they are orators. They can talk. And when they talk, you will fall for it. That's how many people have entered secret society. And they're finding a way to come out. And the only way to come out is the Jesus that they don't believe in. He's the only way to make you come out from that secret society. And so, Ambazonians, our history is to educate you, tell you some of these things that we are talking here now, so that if you have any questions, any doubts, we are here to answer and give you the response that may not be what you want to have, because we'll tell you the truth. Somebody say he wants to challenge me. Go ahead and challenge me. When you challenge me, just make sure that you show us the proof and the evidence. When you show us the proof or the evidence, the next thing I have to do as a person, I will humble myself and apologize. Oh yes, that is what I'm called to do. As far as our history is concerned, that is in the making and that has been made. I am here to recount that history to you so that you can think and then get back into the forum so that we can march on together. If La Republique had not succeeded in its corruption, well, we thank God because we are believing and trusting God. Maybe we would have been having this confusion when we are in Boya. It's good that the people be exposed so that we know those who are still gifted in bribe taking and try to defend Ambazonia in lies. We will not go by that. Yeah, I've not verified, but I'm told that so many of those things from a particular place, oh, we have blown up 7 cars, we have killed 50 people, that they were all made up stories. I have not verified, so I cannot authentically talk about it. That is social media. And as I told you, the federal government of the Ambazonian people does not go by social media, neither is it ruled through the social media. If you want to hear anything from our president and any explanation, you have the open door to call in here, talk to him. He doesn't refuse to talk to anybody. Many people wanted evidence of his accusations. They are almost mute now. But we don't want you to be only mute. We want you to think. If you have not taken anything from the Republic, because the smearing gossip is now, let's blackmail everybody. We will not tell here that somebody has collected money without knowing or having a genuine evidence. We all know that before Ivor died, he was collecting money from Chief Mokete, and the balance that he had in his hand at the time that Ayaba was talking with him was 4-point-something million. Why was he fighting the Republic and the CPDM stalwart in Kumba was paying them money. What was it for? Go and find out. I've heard so many of them talk on how this 2023 is going to be a firepower. Meanwhile, they are parading with La Republique genocidal terrorist B. But they make a lot of noises. And they go kidnapping our people as another strategy and plan by La Republique du Cameroon, so that our people can get discouraged and the whole thing will stop. But the people are determined. After 40-something thousand people have been killed, 500-something houses burnt down, children born in the bushes, you come and settle down for a piece of bread? Those who are being deceived, like what they are doing now in Kumba, that they are tying road after they have killed, burned places. Kwakwa is in Kumba. Which road? They are going to tie the road and who should be riding on the road. They have burned the houses of those who are in the bushes. Who should go and stay in those? When they come out from the bushes, where do they go and stay? They have created another second-class prison called DDR. And the guys there, I don't know whether they are being drugged every day. Sometimes they come out and cry. And the following day they come out and deceiving others to come and join them in the prison. Excuse me, give me a break. Let's go by the reality that is found on the ground. And what is the reality on the ground? We need practicals. We need practicals. Finally, restoration forces. Your interim government is standing tall and has an open hand to stand with you. You who stood up to fight without anybody employing you or recruiting you. Unfortunately, the people who have collected something from the Republic and want to make you their private militias, they have come in to set you up, telling you to form a home government of which the Republic will pick you up and slaughter you. You are going for a suicide mission when you accept that. They are calling for collaboration and all those kind of things, yet they have 23 groups. The groups cannot come together. They are pointing a finger only at the interim government. Interim government, they are not contributing a dime, but they want to know how much has been spent and how much has been sent to where. Can you imagine? People that have dismissed interim government several times, they are still talking and looking onto the interim government. Ambazonians, let's wise up and know that the mango that has ripe fruit or the pear that has strong pear trees is the one that will receive sticks and stones and bamboos and other things shaking the leaves. That is who this interim government is. Because we've gone back to Gomjoa, we've gone back to Foncha, and we've gone back to Indele. Our nation has been restored. Thank you very much for today. Remember, next week, I'm coming in with resource people. People who are going to talk more of what is presently happening in this government. Have a wonderful weekend. And don't forget, tomorrow, the 14th of January 2023, to come in for the defense briefing. It's going to be powerful. And we shall be telling you the truth as this ABC Amba TV is out to do. Anybody talking contrary outside there is his cup of tea. Let's listen to Almighty God as we run up. Oto Sowoji. As I told you, it's a song that I loved so much.